Okay, let's sketch the graph for y equals negative 1/3 x squared. So a couple things I get to know from this single term quadratic is that instead of factoring this, we're just going to find our points by plugging in, picking some values for x, plugging them in and getting our value for y. Our vertex, okay, is negative b, so we're going to find a value for b, and we're going to find a value for a. If we label my original equation in standard form notation, ax squared plus bx plus c, we see that we're missing these last two terms. That doesn't mean they're not there, it just means that they're 0. So we have plus 0x plus 0. We never write anything for 0, so we know that b is 0. And then we have a is negative 1/3. As long as I have a 0 on top, this is going to result in 0. Because 0 divided by whatever this is on the bottom is still going to be 0. So then we plug in 0. So if I have negative 1/3 times 0 squared, 0 squared is 0, times anything is still 0. So my vertex is 0, 0. Now we're going to pick some values for x and plug them in. Okay, so if I have negative 1/3 x squared, this fraction really helps me out a lot. I'm actually going to pick the bottom value of the fraction and plug it in for x squared and plug it in for x. So we're going to say that I'm going to do the positive and negative value of this. So we're going to set x equal to 3 and x equal to negative 3. So we have negative 1 over 3 times 3 squared. Okay, so 3 squared is 9. We use a calculator and we take 1/3 of 9. 3 goes into 9 3 times. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. So our first point is 3 and negative 3. Okay, now we're going to do our second point, negative 3. So I have negative 1/3 times negative 3 squared. Negative 3 squared is still 9. I'm still going to take negative 1/3 of it. And guess what? This 3 is going to go into this 9 3 times. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. So then my other point is negative 3, negative 3. Okay, so we got 2 points to plug into. 3, negative 3, and negative 3, and negative 3, and 0, 0. So let's go graph those. So we're going to go to 0, 0, 0, 0. We're going to go negative 3, negative 3, and then 3. Oops, wrong way. So actually, then we go negative 3, down negative 3. Then we go over 3 in the positive direction and down 3. So then let's graph. Let's draw our lines. And we notice that this one's actually is going to open a little bit wider than all the other ones because of that 1/3. That 1/3 makes things open up pretty wide, okay, which we'll talk about in later lessons, but for now, we'll leave it this.